Hello and welcome to Not the Evening News with a budget special because of the budget today that's been leaked. So we've had two budgets today. One that was leaked, and then the one that was actually went ahead when it was supposed to. They're both exactly the same, obviously, but it is two budgets really. And if you were lucky enough to catch the first one and you're an investor, anything like that, then you were able to make some changes and get a leg up in what's going on, which would have probably made you quite a substantial amount of money. So go you! And I'm not sure if it is or was, or I'm sure it used to be against the law to release a budget ahead of schedule because other politicians had to know about it first. Now, I always thought if you breach that, if you release the budget ahead of schedule, you're breaking the law. But apparently not. Who the fuck knows anymore, okay? I'm sure there's a lot of things that used to be against the law. The whole cousin marriage thing comes to mind. I'm fairly certain that was illegal in Britain. But since Labour have come in, it's not, apparently. So, anyone's free to fuck their cousins. And politicians don't have to save budgets for the House of Commons or anything, Houses of Parliament. They can just release it willy-nilly as they please. I mean, obviously today it was released by the OBR, but they're all in that general kind of scummy circle, aren't they? So I'm going to give my takes from the budget today, okay? So obviously it was a leaked budget, which is absolutely atrocious. The first thing I want to talk about is electric vehicles being taxed 3p a mile, which doesn't sound a lot, but once that accumulates over a year, that's going to be a substantial amount of money. That's going to be quite a dent in someone's wallet. Okay, so in my personal opinion, they have effectively killed the electric vehicle industry. No one's going to want these. And before this tax actually kicks in, you're going to see a hell of a lot of electric vehicles on Auto Trader, on Facebook Marketplace, going for dirt cheap because no one's going to want to pay this. And it's the same for hybrid vehicles, which are going to be taxed at 1.5p a mile. The way I'd imagine they're going to implement this is going to be at the end of the year, when you get your car MOT'd or a checkup or anything like that, they'll just take a reading of the mileage and obviously bill you on that. So for EV drivers, for hybrid drivers, pretty soon, when you take your car to get a MOT, they'll probably give you a great big receipt for charges that you've incurred just by driving around. Brilliant. Again, it's just going to kill off the EV industry completely. Now, another way they could implement it is we know, if you keep track of what's being downloaded into EVs, with updates that they go through, then you'll know that geocaching has been downloaded into a vast majority of electric vehicles. It sits there dormant right now, but I wonder why that's been downloaded into your car. So yeah, they've effectively, they might even do it through an app, that because you have apps for cars now, don't you? And I'm guessing if they geocache, follow you on Google Maps, and then when you get to your destination and then home again, it'll probably just bring it up in the app how much you owe, 3p a mile or 1.5p a mile if you're driving a hybrid. I wouldn't have either at all, not interested in that. Even if my car tax goes up on my combustion engine, I would still rather pay that than have a fucking pay per mile system. because all these new ideas, they never come out cheaper for us now, do they? It always equals more money that they take. So, that's that. Another one that another collective of people that are going to be hit quite hard is going to be landlords. If you have a property that you rent out, you should already know you've already been hit last year with the budget that Rachel Reeves released, and she's done it again. She's done it again. You're going to be hit hard if you own a property and have tenants in that property. Now, obviously, the landlords, they can absorb this this extra money that they're going to have to pay for their properties. But what do landlords usually do? They pass it on to the renters. They pass it on to their tenants. So you can imagine that rent is going to go up. It's going to go up like crazy, especially for people. I do know quite a few people that are landlords. And when the first budget came in from Rachel Reeves, they did actually, good on them, they absorbed that extra cost. But I don't think this time, I don't think they're going to absorb that. And so what you might find as well is that some landlords will just say to their letting agents, yeah, up the price, the price of rent, and those letting agencies, they will up it to the current tax brackets and costs. So if you didn't get a tax rise, if you didn't get a rent rise last year or at the beginning of the year, you will probably get a much bigger raise in rent prices this time. So just be aware of that. If you do rent, the landlords can't absorb it anymore. So that cost almost definitely is going to be passed on to you. I have seen just before going live right now that a couple of news outlets are reporting already that rent is going to skyrocket. And I wholeheartedly agree with them. I've written out my own list here before I even saw that, and landlords and renters were on my list. So yes, I absolutely believe that's going to be the case. Renters, I feel for you, I genuinely do, but the price of renting is likely going to go up by a very, very big amount. Okay, so we have properties over £2 million, right? Now, what you're probably thinking is, great, brilliant, the very rich in society are going to have to pay their dues, because if you've got a house over £2 million, you can probably afford about £7,500 a year tax that they're going to be pushing onto these houses. You can probably afford that. Well, there are a lot of people who have kept their properties that aren't high earners, that have kept their properties throughout their lives, let's say, for instance, in London, and are barely meeting that threshold now. And what that's going to do is that's going to just push them over the edge. So you're probably going to see a lot more what's been deemed white flight in London and expensive areas like that, where people that are not money rich, not cash rich, but asset rich, you would call it, and they will just be pushed out of London. So again, you're going to see what's deemed white flight, basically, and take into consideration that farmers are going to be hit by that, because farm houses, farm land, farm assets are worth well over £2 million, well over. But again, they're not cash rich at all. They are asset rich. They have a lovely cottage house, most likely, and land that comes with that that's generally worth over £2 million, particularly if it's in a nice area, particularly if it's in London or anywhere like that. Again, they're just going to say, fuck this, they're going to move out, and that's going to be that. So again, it's one of those things that sounds great, but when you just look into it a little bit deeper, you realise, shit, these people, For instance, I know a couple of OAPs actually that live in London. They survive on their pension, but they're asset rich. They've got houses that are worth over £2 million. So this will likely push them out of London. Why should that be the case? If they've lived there their whole lives, and now they may be forced to move out simply because Rachel Thieves just wants a little bit more tax from everyone. Yeah, it's wrong. It really is wrong. Okay, the 3 cap child benefit. Now, who's this going to benefit? Families with more than 2 children. Right. There are 2 sets of people that have more than 2 children. The first is women that have left school, never worked a day in their life, and basically just started popping out kids. So these women that have just done that since school and have capped that at 2, well, what they're probably likely to do now is just have more kids that taxpayers are going to have to pay for. It's the only logical answer to that. If they know that they get capped at 2 children and they can't get any more money off the government after those 2 children, then a lot of women are going to have 2 children. Whereas now, if they know that they can get more money for each child that they have, they're going to have more children. And another demographic that's going to benefit greatly from that is, of course, the Muslim population, because for a woman to work in Islam is haram. They're not really supposed to do it, and they're supposed to basically be baby makers. So again, with that cap now gone, they're just going to say, hey, we're at it tonight. We want another kid. We want some more benefit money. Okay. So again, it's just more burden for the taxpayer, for the working class. Sounds good, sounds kind, sounds nice, but it's not. It's just another tax that you're going to have to pay. There you go. So basically, the people that want to have children and pay for their own children aren't going to be able to have children, because they're not going to be able to pay for their own children, because now they're paying for somebody else to have children, and a lot more children. Do you see how that works? Yeah. So yeah, that's just how it's going to work. That is what it is. Another thing is luxury cars for the disabled. If you are a disabled person that has a lovely BMW, a lovely Mercedes-Benz, a lovely new EV on your driveway, forget it. Forget it. These will be done away with. I don't know if they're going to take those cars back from you. I wouldn't have thought they would. But when you come to get a new car, when you come to renew your lease on your lovely BMW or Mercedes or whatever it is that you have, they'll just say, well, no, you can't get a new car of that same caliber, of that same standard. You'll have to go for a substantially smaller and, well, crapper car. So again, that's going to affect you greatly if you are a benefits claimant that has a nice car. Forget it, it's gone. You either stick with that car now, or you're going to have to downgrade by a great deal. That's if they choose not to take that car from you, because if it's leased in particular, they might just say, well, we're not going to pay the lease anymore on that car. Take that car back, and then here is a new list of cars you can have that will be substantially cheaper, smaller, because the way they see it, disabled people shouldn't have luxury cars. It's about mobility. They should have a car that gets them about, not a luxury car that gets them about in luxury. That's the way they see that. Okay, it is what it is. You know, this is what we have to take from this. Proportional income tax, higher tax. So what this means is, although the minimum wage is rising, and it sounds lovely, minimum wage going up, it's not, because of you're essentially being moved up now into a higher tax bracket. So that basically means, although you on paper earn more money, you'll just pay more taxes at the same time. Where this will become very, very prevalent and very noticeable is with overtime. Okay, I think this has killed off overtime, because you're going to be taxed at a much higher rate for your overtime than what you would have done initially. I know of several people that work in the NHS, and they did this to them like a year ago or 2 years ago or something, where they gave them a tax rise, they gave them a pay rise, and then they upped the tax with it as well, and the pension burden, I think they call it, or something. And it turned out every time they did overtime, it was just a complete waste of time, because again, you're just paying so much in tax and pension that it's just not worth doing. So again, I think that is just going to kill off overtime. People are just going to say, I'm not doing overtime, what's the point, it's not worth it. So you'll get more and more people now that will go into work, just do their hours, and then go home. And I don't blame them. I absolutely do not blame them. And forget saying, I'll do overtime because I'm loyal to the company or anything like that. That doesn't exist anymore, and it should not exist anymore, because your company, whoever you work for, are not loyal to you. They'll pretend to be your friends. They're your family, right? Yeah, this is a family unit. No, they're making money off of you. So again, it's one of those things where they're literally teaching you, they're setting you up in such a way that it disregards loyalty to a company, and to do any extra work for them. Just do the bare minimum, work your basic hours, and get out of there. That's that. Okay, and just to finish off, there's just one thing I wanted to say, and that is, please stop calling the pension a tax or a benefit. Okay, it's neither. It's only Labour that have come in and started calling pensions benefits. They're not. They're something that you've paid into your whole life. Okay, that is not a benefit. It is not. Okay, it's a pension. It's different from a benefit. A benefit is something that you get essentially free without paying into anything. You get it because you can't pay into anything, so you get something out to keep you alive, to keep you to keep you going. Whereas a pension, you pay into it your whole life, and all it essentially is, or should be, is a pot of money that's just set aside for you, so that when you retire, when you can no longer work, you can withdraw from that and still survive after you've finished working. Now, the reason that they're calling it a benefit, the reason that they're calling it a tax, is because they want to make it sound like something that pensioners aren't really entitled to. You know, it's something that they're getting for free, isn't it? No, it's absolutely not. It's something that they've paid into their whole fucking lives. Leave them alone. Stop taxing it, because they've already paid tax on it. Stop being bullies. Right? And I think we'll leave it there. Again, if you're in any of those collections of people, just realise that you are screwed, basically. And unless you can afford to absorb the hit, good on you, and well done for paying more. Great. And if you're not in any of those categories, then again, well done to you. You've managed to escape this budget, but mark my words, there will be future budgets that will get you. So just to summarize, if you drive an electric car, if you drive a hybrid car, if you're a landlord, if you're a saver, if you're a renter, if you're a farmer, if you own a high asset property over £2 million, if you have if you have a luxury car as a disabled person, if you work and are on minimum wage or close to minimum wage, then you're fucked. Okay? If you're in any of those categories, you're fucked. Good luck. I wish you the very best. That is my take of the budget. Great stuff, innit? Cheers for watching.